it must be poison, send it to the liver. So every drug is first sent to the liver, and the liver tries to destroy it. That's why the livers are becoming big and fatty liver. And what's the treatment? After that, the liver, something comes out, which is called first pass effect, and that will give rise to side effect. Whereas it tried holistic medicine, of course not Ayurveda, but it tried Tibetan medicine, Chinese medicine, and found where it goes inside, body says, yeah, I know this, I've been eating this food. So it gets absorbed, and if it does any good, it does good. If it doesn't do good, it doesn't do good any. But it doesn't harm. So this is the principle we have to understand before we talk about yoga for diabetes. I was surprised when I got this letter from Acharya saying that we are having a yoga for diabetes. My God, Patanjali never wrote anything for yoga for diabetes. Did he? Holistic idea of yoga is Chittavritti Nirodha. And if you have Chittavritti Nirodha, you have everything come. Where is the mind? Where is the mind? Younger generation doctors. Never mind. The man who got a Nobel Prize for saying that the mind is in the brain, Wilder Winfield, a Canadian neurosurgeon, wrote a paper in 1971 which most of us have not read, where he said, I am sorry for saying what I said and got the Nobel Prize. The mind cannot be confined to the brain, because brain is such a small organ, thought cannot be produced in the brain. Mind is consciousness, universal. And your mind and my mind are the same. I am a part of your mind. When I hate you, my mind cells hate me. This is probably the origin of autoimmune diseases. We don't want to explore that, because that's against us. Autoimmune disease, idiopathic, which means we are idiotic, ignoramuses. So see, this is how in quantum physics, that's what's called quantum healing. I give you a book, the novices in the field. There's a beautiful book called Quantum Doctor. Quantum Doctor. Written by a physics professor in Eugene in America. He's a great man, our own man. And this man has written a beautiful book which says, you can cure any disease with your own mind. I tried it on a couple of occasions, so refused to have treatment. And you would be surprised, the paper is sent, it's with nature, may not come because they won't accept it. Because they've got a peer review system. What is peer review system? Exclude that you don't want. I mean, how does a peer know something out of the box? He knows what is known. Knowledge does not advance by repeating known things. Karl Popper was a colossus in the London School of Economics in the 50s and 60s. Science philosopher, he is a physicist, said, I quote, knowledge advances not by repeating known things, but by refuting false dogmas. There are so many dogmas in every system of medicine. We can't have one system. I saw one Ayurvedic girl the other day in a conference. My God, she thought Ayurveda is the be-all and end-all of this universe. She was arguing with a very senior British scientist who was in the Cambridge University, the professor left that and came to India to do research in Indian systems. And she said, what do you know, you white people? You don't know anything about Ayurveda. Ayurveda is mine. Ayurveda is Kerala, and it's mine. And fight went on and on and on. And that man came to almost, he said, he was about to say, you shut up. Then I came there and said, you can argue and agree to disagree, but don't ask him to know. Say you don't know anything. See, that's when somebody says you don't know anything, that means he doesn't know anything. So Ayurveda and one system is not anything. You probably don't know. Benjamin Rush was one of the constitution framers in America in 1772. Rush wrote, let us have in the constitution a clause which says, no single system must be provided protection by the government. All systems must prevail and anybody should have freedom to practice any system. But this was not passed. The clause was not included. And today you see what's happening? Modern medical monstrosity. 1823, Lancet started in London. Lancet, 1823, by a thinking doctor who thought in 1823 the London doctors are a bunch of nepotistic, incompetent, and probably fools who have become an abscess in the human body of patients. And he wanted to start a journal to teach them science, called it Lancet to cut the abscess, to drain the pus. Okay? When was this? 1823. 185 years later, Richard Horton, the present editor, engaged a journalist to study what effect had Lancet on the public. Would you like to know what effect it had? One sentence. What was a bunch of nepotistic, corrupt, impotent fools in 1823 has transformed itself into a corporate monstrosity which is killing people left, right, and center all over the world. Please read this report in the Lancet. You don't know. See, this is a lot of things we don't know. So let us not say modern medicine can't be thrown out lock, stock, and barrel as some Ayurvedic and homeopathy and United. No. We need modern medicine for emergency care. Supposing I fall under a car now, and then I say I do yoga and come out, or I go to Wi-Fi and come out. No. Supposing I drop down here now, I require emergency treatment. But what percentage of people will there? 2% of the population, give or take. Do you know what percent of people have minor illness syndrome? 55 million people in Europe don't go to work every day in winter because of upper respiratory infection. 4 things: common cold, feverish cold, flu-like illness, and sore throat. What do we treat that with? Antibiotics today. What happens if we give antibiotics to viral disease? The response of the immune system from Th1 to Th2, which is a vasoconstrictor, a bronchoconstrictor. So you are converting asthma, the manufacturing asthma. We said India is the mother of diabetes. No, that's not true. These are all artificial studies funded by RDSS and things like that. Kaushik knows that. What do they do?